So GPUs matter, CPUs matter when we're talking about AI, but what about the rest of the system components? Storage, memory, bus speeds, etc. What's the relationship between AI, and we're talking mainly inferencing, and the rest of your subsystems within your data center or even within a server? Solidigm, which is the spinout of Intel's Optane Storage Business Unit standalone company, presented at AI Field Day 4, and they talked about the importance of the SSD. So let's take this from a high level perspective first. What is the importance of storage when it comes to performance around inferencing? Talk to the folks at Kamawaza who also presented at AI Field Day. And we talked about how even when we vectorize the data set, when we take a set of data, create a vector database so that the model can then reference your data, the performance bottleneck ends up not being GPU or CPU, but storage. So that ability for you to retrieve the files that reference the question within the model, i.e., how fast can a cougar go versus a human being in all of the tests of running of a human running versus a human being, human running versus a cougar. All of that reference data is in a set of documents that's referenced via the vector database. I can recall those documents, the ability to recall those documents and deliver that to the human. All of that is dependent not just on the ability of the GPU or CPU to inference and understand the vector, but also retrieve the data. Just plain and simple I/O challenges. The faster your storage subsystem, the faster the response. So sometimes CPU, slow GPU is fine. For some of your use cases, you need to turn the knob on your storage system. But Solidigm isn't a storage system company, not in the traditional sense. They're not providing the actual SAN. They are either storage that goes into a system or they're storage that goes into a storage subsystem. You know, other than size, what advantages can an SSD offer over, you know, generic components from a no-name brand manufacturer? And this is where Solidigm did a okay job explaining the difference, but we need to, you know, kind of add a little bit to that. It's all about packaging. Why have I been a proponent for using CPUs when you can use CPUs? Because it's consistent with your existing operations, your existing model. You're not going out and building a pod dedicated for AI or a pod that can't be used for anything other than AI. Well, what if we're out at the edge and we want to use these edge systems, whether they have GPUs or CPUs in them, and we want to use them for both general compute and for AI? Power envelope matters. The amount of RAM you can get out of the system matters. The amount of I/O, the amount of storage. All of this changes when you're talking about the limited power envelope of a edge system and the variety of use cases you want to use this system for. It is when this low-level engineering, knowing which SSD to use, which NVMe flash to use, which CPU, GPU to use within your limited power envelope, which matters. It is worthwhile watching the video if you're designing systems at this level. You want to learn more? You can follow us on the web. The Futurum Group website is futurumgroup.com. The CTO Advisor, thectoadvisor.com. Talk to you next CTO Advisor, CTO Dose.